is it largely institutional activity? Is it in some ways a large amount of retail activities picked up quite a bit? I spoke to Sunil Singhania towards the end of last week. It was last Friday. And he also pointed to this, the activity we are seeing in some of these, 2 rupee, 5 rupee, 10 rupee shares, and just generally the broader market has exploded. And he cautioned viewers as well. What would you say? Let's just begin there and then get down to what you like and don't.
So you're right, Prashant. I think we need to be cautious, especially on companies which are, penny stocks, leverage balance sheets, and suddenly moving up. There are pockets of concern, and we've been highlighting liquidity that Fed balance sheet has gone up. One important point people are missing here is that if you see from mid-April, the U.S. Treasury cash balances are going up. So technically, from mid-April, the banking liquidity hasn't gone up in U.S. So from the cash balances of about 300 billion which they maintain, they are now at 1.7 trillion dollars, which is a huge number. And that the sense is that they want to spend it closer to the election. So which means that this liquidity is not going away in a hurry. And yes, you're right on that Robinhood effect. With look at the number of Demat account and trading accounts have been opened. It's a staggering number in this pandemic. So there are pockets, but as I said, there are opportunities as well. And look at the impact. There is no negative correlation right now. All asset classes are up. Gold is up, US Treasury is up, Nasdaq is all-time high, and this is where the investors need to be cautious about. Avoid the recency bias. Just don't look at 6 months, 12 months return and just buy a Nasdaq ETF or enter into gold or look at equities. One has to be very, very prudent right now, as you rightly said. Next 2 months will offer a lot of opportunities as earnings come forward and the reality strikes in.
Okay, got that. Gurmeet, hi, good morning. Would you buy any of the NBFCs now? I mean, the outlook that we got from Bajaj Finance as well as from names like Bandhan Bank is that things are not so bad as one would have feared. Any names that you like?
So I will not dial in NBFCs immediately, especially, we did discuss Sonia Bajaj Finance a few weeks back and look at it's almost been 80% up. I've been maintaining that it's a consumption stock. In NBFC, and it would actually capture the change in consumption trends to perfection. I think I would dial in some of the private banks which are still available, 1.5 book value. Look at ICICI Bank, for example, 2 lakh crores in saving accounts, a lakh crore in current accounts, 45% CASA. Capital raise will give it the war chest, which I don't think so it really needs, but that's what right now everybody is doing. All subsidiaries doing well. The retail loans, which were only 40% in 2014, are now 65% of the portfolio. Most of the lending to corporate is A-rated and above. So gives me a lot of comfort. Similarly for Axis, I think maybe a notch lower than ICICI gives me a lot of comfort in seeing the text of the book. So I will dial in some of the well-run private banks, which are available 1.5 book value, and maybe dial in NBFC when I see what the bouncing rates are right now. While I agree the cost to income ratios would be better for somebody like a Bajaj Finance with better names, but I don't think so Bajaj can command a 10 price book multiple now. I think we have to be more realistic, in terms of way, some of the NBFCs will do going forward.
Let me open the field to you, Gurmeet. What do you like from here, where you still have valuation comfort and, not too many risks?
Yeah. So, Prashant, couple of things. One is telecom. I think Bharti remains one of the top suggestions to most of our clients. I think it is consolidated. If you look at last quarter, the way they are, their mobile services revenue and broadband revenues are picking up. It's very heartening. Look at a 12.5 million addition to 4G subscriber base. Migration to postpaid has been very, very good. And if you look at the ARPU numbers, which is 20% better than a Jio and Voda, the pass-through of tariff hikes has been the best. Which also reflects in your customer quality and you probably, retaining the higher revenue market share. We keep emphasizing the number of subscribers. It's also important to, keep a sight on the revenue market share. I also think somebody will dial into Bharti at some point of time. It remains, great play. The AGR verdict, either ways will go in its favor. They've already paid about 18,800 crores. They have another maybe 18,000 crores more to pay. They've raised funds. So either it's a 2-player industry or a 3-player industry. In either case, Bharti gains. So that remains one of the good long-term bets. We like some niche financials like insurance and general insurance. We are seeing a big pickup happening there. I also like few consumption names, especially Tata Consumer. We have discussed that multiple times. I think the Tata Sampann brand is really shaping up well. I think the organized market for pulses, spices, packaged food in India will grow disproportionately. Just to give you an idea, the pulses market is 1.2 lakh crores, which is the unorganized part. So imagine the scope which is there. So what they have done to our Tata Salt, what they have done to some of the other brands, we have seen Britannia getting into, packaged food with snacks and others. So I think this is one space which I like in the consumption space.
Okay, you're helping us with actually a lot of ideas. So thanks for that. You spoke about Tata Consumers. Bharti is a good stock, you said, and ICICI Bank is also something you like. Anything in the two-wheeler or tractor space that you fancy? Because the the word from the management is that demand has picked up.
So I think it's reflecting in the price. So clearly Bajaj Auto and some of the tractor makers like Escorts and M&M and farm equipment makers are in our watch list. But you just see the price action. I think they've run ahead, already anticipating a rural recovery. Is on its way. I think you will see serious disruptions in economic activity on an ongoing basis. Right? Look at Maruti numbers. We just had 50,000 units. Some of my clients are the largest dealers for four-wheelers and two-wheelers. So I think we are in for a bit of a long haul. But as things normalize, once with stronger balance sheets, better distribution reach, and mind you, a lot of dealer shops are closing. So people who are able to help handle the supply chain better will do well. So Maruti, Bajaj Auto, and few tractor makers are in the watch list, but not at this price.
Okay, all right, not at this price. So what else looks good at this price? Because this is a raging market, and I'm sure there are plenty of other opportunities in the broader space. What do you like?
So we like, as I said, niche financial, especially insurance, both life and general. I think the penetration levels are low. We did see a drop in APs because the medical test could not happen due to the pandemic. HDFC Life, the share of protection business is really going up. I think a couple of innovations they have done on the protection and saving sides are quite staggering. The ULIP share is just down to now 28-29% on an AP basis. We like pharma selectively. I like Divi's Labs. The global spend on, and despite the valuations, the global spend on medicines about $1.3 trillion. I think it's only going to go up in a post-COVID world. You have a company here which has great relationship with innovator companies, very superior chemistry skills. Virtually no issues with US FDA, very, very compliant. So I think the opportunities itself, and pharma sector today, the market cap is equal to Hindustan Lever. You need to have a pharma sector which has probably more than double-digit weightage, in the index. So retail investors can take a nice pharma fund because it's a technical sector to do research and pick stocks. But that's one sector I think which gradually will be a good story despite the recent run-up over the next 3 to 5 years.